niggerization of Silicon Valley. I am the professor, a well-known professor in the US, and I thought it was time that I disrupted Silicon Valley. In fact, the name of my show is The Niggerization of Silicon Valley. So you might ask, what is the niggerization of Silicon Valley? We know that founders, black and brown founders, receive very little capital in relationship to the capital available to white founders, made available to white founders. And why is this possible? Well, let's take a look at that. We're going to start with what's called, I'm not sure if you can see that, GWMP. GWMP, which is an acronym for Generational White Male Privilege. Generational white male privilege. Now, what is that? I guess you can kind of understand that generational white male privilege in Silicon Valley, and typically the entire country, if not the entire world, is based on white supremacy. Now, you may feel like this is untrue, or you may agree with what I'm saying. But the point is, based on and because of generational white male privilege, Silicon Valley continues to thrive by essentially locking out black founders, talented black founders, talented Latino founders. Now, trust me, Asian and Indians make it in. Even though they are people of color, they make it in. They get more yeses than nos when it comes to venture capital. And why is this possible? Well, various reasons. In terms of those funds allocated to founders, to the white founders. Let's start young white founders, young white males. Women also are basically derailed when it comes to the capital made available to them. But the young white males in Silicon Valley, based on generational white male privilege, those are the ones those white males who attended Stanford and Harvard and Yale, or not just attended, but maybe even dropped out, which is really cool in Silicon Valley, to drop out of college. You know, Steve Jobs dropped out of Reed. I think Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, and so on and so forth. The list goes on and on. You know, but at the same time, what we want to explore with this channel, the niggerization of Silicon Valley. We want to deal with very serious issues. And just let me say this, it may cost me my job. It may cost me my career, but I'm willing to go there because this is something that needs to be discussed. We need to have a deeper understanding as to why talented black founders who seek to build companies, innovative technological companies, cannot receive the fundings that is potentially available, but just, they're literally bypassed. And this is really weird to many of us in various circles, simply because of the fact that, this is California, the West Coast. The open minds, the open hearts, the open souls, the open pocketbooks. But see, we need to understand how this began. Let's start with Dr. Shockley. Dr. William Shockley was a professor at Stanford of high esteem back in I want to say the 60s or 70s. I'm not really exactly sure. I'll have to do my research. But Dr. Shockley taught that black students and black people, rather, let's go a step further. Dr. William Shockley taught that black people were inferior intellectually to white people. This was a foundational teaching that Stanford University's Dr. Shockley put forth to young people attending school back in the 60s and 70s. So you can imagine those are the people, the gatekeepers of today. Those are essentially the gatekeepers of today who basically say yay and nay to who will receive funding. And this is a big part of what's called systemic racism. Systemic racism. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm going to tell you what it says. It says systemic racism. And I'm trying to keep it very, very low tech, as you can see. Now, systemic racism, basically what that is where essentially all practices and policies put forth in a society or an organization are meant to basically, how can I say it? Meant to basically, they favor one group opposed to another group. And I'll give you a prime example of systemic racism. I'll give you a prime example. Is that how they do it? Anyway, federal prison, the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, what they do, and not even the Bureau of Prisons, let's start with the judicial system, federal courts. 98% of individuals who plead guilty, who are found guilty, rather not found guilty, but plead guilty, 98% of individuals, primarily black and brown natives, plead guilty. 98%, 98 out of 100, men and women, primarily men, plead guilty to what is called an adhesion contract. The government tells you that it's a plea bargain. There's nothing bargaining about it. It's what you call an adhesion contract. An adhesion contract is where one side has the more favorable circumstances than the other. So that the adhesion contract is weighted against another, the other party. One party it has everything in its favor. Let's say it like that. Has everything in its favor. And I wanted to bring up the judicial system because it's closely related to the banking system, to the educational system, to the law enforcement. Everything that falls under the umbrella of systemic racism, institutional racism, the banks, like I say, the universities, the schools. These are all. I'm gonna take it a step further. Even your churches, even your bastions of religion, your centers of religion. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because this is the U.S. But what the U.S. has done, it has taught, and as an African American, primarily, it has taught black people, black men in general, young black men in general, and all of us, we've all been brainwashed to believe in what's called SDE. Take a second and digest this SDE. SDE is an acronym for sports, drugs, and entertainment. So those are primarily the lanes that white supremacy, I'm not going to say they, I'm going to keep it completely structural. Those are the lanes that structural racism has made available to black people, black men in general. Black men are denigrated more so than any other ethnic group in society. Black men, the gender of black people, which is black males, have been made to believe that the only way to success is through sports, drugs, or entertainment. I want to repeat that again. SDE, sports, drugs, and entertainment. And this is the niggerization of Silicon Valley, and we're gonna go deeper into it. But initially, we just want to kind of find out and get a feel. I'm not sure if I'll be here the next time I post a video, because I'll probably have somebody call me to the office, so to speak, the principal's office, so to speak. But hey, someone has to do it, right? Someone has to get close to the ledge and jump, and I don't mind being that individual. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed just the tiny offering, just a peace offering, a tiny, just to kind of let you see what's going to be going on. We're going to go deeper and harder than you've ever seen before. We're going to talk about some things that people don't normally talk about on the niggerization of Silicon Valley. I really got to do something about my hair. You guys have a nice day, a nice evening, whatever it may be. Like the video, share it if you can, but we're going to touch on some things. We're going to keep it all the way 100. Welcome to the niggerization of Silicon Valley. See you next time.